As harvest continues across the state of Iowa, the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network crew is out and about giving you a glimpse into the harvest process. In this week's stop on our Beck's Hybrids Harvest Tour, Mark Magnuson hops in the cab with Tim Vander Schel outside of Sully, Iowa.
Mark Magnuson for the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, and I'm joined today by Tim Vander Schel. We are at his operation just a few miles west of Sully, Iowa. And Sully, if you don't know, located in east central Iowa. And Tim, first of all, thanks for having us out to your operation. Could you tell us a little bit about your operation, please?
Well, we're a family farm. My wife and I, and then our son and our son-in-law farm together, and we also have a 5,000 head contract finishing barn for pigs, and stay pretty busy, raise corn and beans. So.
And Tim, how has harvest been going for you so far here, and especially with this field?
Better than ever. It's been a very good harvest year. The yields are good. The weather's been fantastic. We've had very minimal breakdowns. It's just up to this point, it's been going real good. So, yeah.
And Tim, this field of your operation that we're located at here today, what corn are we going to be going through and combining and harvesting here today?
The Beck 6374, I think is what it's called, or 6347. I get them mixed up.
And what have you learned about this variety this year?
Pretty good. We did get hit with a little bit of green snap on this field a little bit, but the rest of it, where it didn't hit it, looks very good. Yep, looks very good.
All right, Tim,
it's dried down very well.
That's a great starting point. Let's jump up in the cab, and I'll go along with you, and we'll just continue our conversation.
Okay, sounds good.
You know, it's been a great year all the way around for harvest. Just could you tell us a little bit about what's made it so good of a year for harvest?
Well, the yields have been fantastic. That might be one of the more important things. I don't know, it just seems like some years you kind of get a little bit behind, and then with several rain delays, you kind of get wound up and worked up and think you got to get so much done today. Well, with the weather we've had, it's kind of just been very relaxing to work at maybe a little more slower pace. Enjoy God's good creation here. Have a little time to do that.
And Tim, has there been any days this fall that you haven't been able to get out and get work done because of the weather, or has it just been pretty agreeable all the way around?
We've had maybe 2 days that we had I think we had a 7/10 rain, but by shortly afternoon it was drying up the big corn again. Rain soaked up pretty fast. And then another day we had a little bit of a rain shower come up in the afternoon where we quit for the day, but otherwise, it's been pretty much harvesting the whole time.
And what has it been like this year with how dry we closed out the season, those final 2 months? What did that do for dry down this year? Was it faster than you're used to at this point of the year?
Oh, yeah. A little too fast, actually. I think we lost a little bit of test weight by getting some of this corn down to the 13% range. I guess almost even more scary is how dry it is in the ground, and wanting to look forward into next year. And with my operation, we have the pump confinement, and so here shortly, in a few days, we'll be applying liquid manure to the ground. And a lot of guys are going to be wanting to start applying anhydrous, and it'd be nice to have some wetter soils to do that with compared to this really dry stuff.
And I'm glad you brought that up as well about next year, because that's something that I've been hearing from other people also, thinking about next year already, but it does feel like at this point in time we could have a little bit of a dry start to next year, couldn't we?
That's what it sounds like, and the way it's looking now, that would be very true, so I guess we'll just hope and pray for the best here.
Tim, let's talk a little bit about some of the challenges you've seen this year. Have you dealt with insects? And what kind of insecticide, I guess, did you have to turn to if you did?
We really hadn't had no trouble. I pretty much fungicide all my beans, and we're one field of corn where I went 58. That's the number that I usually like to try to get in and pick early. And I didn't fungicide that, and there didn't seem to be any pest troubles with that either. So I guess every year I think a lot of us farmers kind of wonder, did it pay to fungicide, or the pest going to be right bad? But I still think maybe that they always say you're going to get your money back if you spray it. So I guess we'll just keep doing it.
And I heard a very good point from someone this year that they said they kind of think of fungicide as an insurance policy in that respect, where
yes, that's Right.
you go into it and you think, yeah, I don't know if I'll necessarily need it, but at the end of the day, it was nice to have. You get that feeling too?
Yeah, I really do. Yeah. Every year when it's time to do it, you start adding up the dollars and cents, and you're thinking, well, is that going to pay? Is that going to pay? And get your return on investment. But I think it pretty much pays for itself anyway. It's the one that I always considered it. I think 1 out of 3 years you're going to really collect big from that by spraying on it. And I guess I'm not smart enough to figure out which one of the 3 years I need to do it. So I guess you just got to do it all 3 years.
Yeah, that certainly goes into the insurance policy conversation that we talked about. Tim, let's talk a little bit about Beck's hybrids then, and your relationship with them as a grower. How long have you used Beck's products for, and what do you like the most about working with this company?
Well, I think I've been using Beck's products for probably 9 or 10 years now. We started using it, trying it out, and it seemed to work out really good. And as I kept using it, I was got to know a little bit more about the Beck's family and their business and their family operation, and I really liked the way they ran their family business, and I think their core values match up alongside mine, and I really appreciate that. And they've just been an excellent company to work with, from the salesman all the way down the line to the agronomists and the other people in the organization. They've been very helpful.
And what do you like specifically about that the most, Tim? Can you reach out with a question whenever you have one and you're pretty quick to get an answer back?
Yes. First of all, I'll call my son-in-law, my dealer, and he better call me back or he'll be in big trouble. But as far as the seed advisor, Matt Olson, and some of the agronomists too, they're always they're very willing to take phone calls and talk to you and come out and visit with you if you have a problem. And I really like that. In placing hybrids and things like that, they're very good at communication with you on that.
And Tim, from the farmer's perspective, obviously you want everything to go smoothly throughout a season, but do you enjoy that challenge at the end of the day of having to solve problems like you do every day as a farmer?
Yeah, I think life would be pretty boring if you didn't have to do that. I've learned a lot I turned 65 this year, and I've been farming, helping a friend of mine that when I was 14 years old, started farming with him. He called me and wanted me to come out after school one day and help him farm. And I've been farming ever since. And I would be bored to death if I just went home and didn't have to worry about anything. But it is a challenge, and it's a learning experience to deal with problems, to deal with breakdowns and issues going on in the field, issues in the home shed. I guess I've tried to learn patience over the years to handle those problems. Fell pretty short in that area, but I still try.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell me before we wrap up our conversation in the cab here today?
Well, thank you for coming out, share a little bit about our farming. Thanks to the Beck company for providing a good quality product, and appreciate talking to you today.